The Plucky Orangutan, written by Catherine Veitch, illustrated by Elissambura. Omar the orangutan wanted to be good at everything. She loved trying new things. Every waking hour when she was not eating or napping, she loved doing challenges. One day, Omar's friend Amir challenged her to build the best tree nest. It will be the coziest nest any orangutan has ever made, said Omar, as she gathered branches with the biggest, softest leaves to line her new nest. But whoosh! A rain cloud burst overhead. Rain flooded into Omar's nest and quickly soaked the leaves and Omar. I wish you would go away, Omar shouted at the rain. Look at my soggy bottom. I'm not the best at building a cosy nest. Why don't you try building a nest in the fastest time instead, said Amir as he sheltered under a giant leaf. Word spread about Omar's next challenge, and when the rain stopped, she was ready to begin. Vina, who was the fastest nest builder many years ago, counted Omar down. 1, 2, 3, orangutan, go! The sounds of bend, snap, echoed around the forest as Omar whipped branches off the trees, but the branches were wet and slimy, and many slipped out of her hands. Time's up, shouted Vina. Stop what you're doing. Omar did not feel confident with this challenge either. Can you stand up in your nest? Shouted one of the watching orangutans. Omar nervously stepped in, but her nest was not very strong. I'm not the best at building nests in super quick time either, said Omar sadly. Amir suggested that for Omar's next challenge she could try building the highest nest. Omar bravely climbed the tallest tree she could find. She could see for miles. It's windy up here, she nervously shouted down, but she would not give up the challenge. I can do this, she told herself. Amir was not so sure about the view when he joined Omar. Look, the rain clouds are coming back. Omar and Amir scrambled down just in time as heavy rain washed Omar's nest away. My idea to build a nest that high was not so great, said Amir, as leaves and branches fell on Omar's head. The rain has destroyed all of my nests. I wish it had never rained, said Omar. But Omar, the rain is important to our forest. Omar did not believe Amir. The two friends carried on arguing and were getting wetter and wetter. I challenge you to prove that plants need the rain, said Omar. Let's have a competition. When it stopped raining, Amir was ready to take up Omar's challenge. Vina volunteered to judge the competition and gave each of them a young tree to plant. It did not take Amir long to find the perfect spot to plant his tree. Here my sapling will have shelter, light, and the rain will drip off that leaf and water it, he said. Omar found it much harder to find a spot for her tree, but eventually she found a dry tree hollow that did not have any animals in. After a week, it was time to check on the young trees. First, they all went to Amir's sapling. I don't believe it, Amir beamed. My sapling has grown 5 more leaves. Then they went to look at Omar's sapling. Sadly, her small tree had not grown any more leaves, but Omar was still hopeful. Perhaps it's a slow starter, like me, she said. After 2 weeks, it was time for the final check. Amir's sapling had grown tall and strong. I knew the rain would help my tree to grow, boasted Amir. But Omar's sapling looked very sorry for itself. It had wilted and withered. This was another challenge that Omar had not won. Now do you believe me? Asked Amir. Yes, I agree. Our forest needs the rain to grow. Omar was sad. I'm not the best at building nests or growing a tree. But you are the best at something, said Vina. Omar could not think of anything she was good at. Every time something went wrong, you kept trying and you never gave up, smiled Vina. You are the best at trying your best. And the best at making us laugh. The end. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and come join us for more stories.